I'm applying for jobs I'm qualified for, I'm applying for jobs I'm overqualified for, and I'm still not hearing anything back. And then you're in this kind of weird limbo space.
Adjua Kwamwa is not alone. Young black people in Britain are 3 times more likely to be unemployed than their white peers.
I'm black, I'm a woman, and then I'm also young. So all those factors are basically all meeting at one place where they're kind of colliding.
The economic fault lines of our economy have deepened through the pandemic. And despite national unemployment getting better, in places like Hackney, just a stone's throw from the wealth of the city, the charity Voyage says too many young black people still feel locked out.
Sometimes I get in my head a bit too much about it, and I might think, oh, I want to apply for this job, but I've looked at them on LinkedIn and I've looked at their board and no one here looks like me, so maybe they might not want me in this job. And then people sometimes meet me and they're like, oh, like, you're really different to how I thought you would be. And then I start to think, but what did you think I was going to be like? It can affect your mental health and it can just kind of be just draining.
In the local job centre, the government is running outreach programmes to tackle these problems, including one-to-one coaching for those who are young, from ethnic minorities or who have disabilities. The top civil servant trying to make a difference is Tammy Fervier, who hopes the pandemic rescue package can open up industries that have long been felt to be out of reach.
Even before the recession, we knew that there was already a stark gap, really, in terms of the employment outcomes for young black and sort of minority ethnic people as compared to their peers in the wider society. What we've seen through this recession is that's broadened. That obviously is not good enough.
That experience is all too familiar for those on the front line.
When I'm going to interviews, I might make sure I have my hair a certain way, I might speak a bit differently, just to make sure I'm assimilating to the culture of that company.
Does that make you angry?
It does make me angry, but I think I've become so accustomed to doing it, it's just become part of my everyday life.
Is it normal or is it racism?
Well, I would say it is racism, yeah, definitely would say it is racism, but I think where a lot of organisations might not want to speak about institutional racism, and as a country we might not be ready to speak about institutional racism, you just kind of get on with it and you just think, okay, let me just do what I can to basically survive.
Also at Voyage is another young black woman who has struggled to find work during the pandemic.
You go for an interview and I don't know, you just don't get the vibe is just not right.
Do you think that's because you're black?
I think I do get treated differently because I cover. I don't know why that is. I don't know why that's the problem. I feel like if people have the qualification and the right skills, people should be working. I just hope that there will be someone out there that will, accept it and just allow me to be me.
So do the unemployment numbers reveal institutional racism in Britain?
There are always challenges in terms of the extent to which, if you are non-white, employers perhaps actually being more resistant to kind of taking on people who they don't know, they don't understand, they're not familiar with. It's a huge challenge. I don't think anyone sort of denigrates that at all.
Alongside the personal youth support schemes, Tammy says the Kickstarter apprenticeship will help expose employers to a wider group of young people that may not have previously got their foot in the door.
And I genuinely think this is an opportunity to almost reset the thinking, particularly for all young people, but young black people in particular, about what they can do, what they can achieve.
The inequalities laid bare in the figures on race are mirrored by the numbers on unemployment and disability, where those with disabilities are twice as likely to be unemployed as those without.
I'm diagnosed with autism, so sometimes it can be very tough. Getting some sort of financial security would actually mean a lot, to my mom. At least it takes the weight off my mom's shoulders, really, so that my mom can be my mom. So, yeah.
These hardships are something the government says it's facing up to as it commits record billions to supporting the labour market. If it fails to deliver, it's not just an enormous waste of human talent and potential, but an economic hit to all of our prosperity.